Hello and welcome to episode 202 of the Casual Try Hard podcast. I'm Brian,
And I'm James.
and this week we have a doozy for you.
Yeah, a little bit of a two-parter. We're going to talk real quick about the Magic 30 that happened today. And also, the doozy that Brian is referring to is, I don't know, where would you rank it on Magic video games?
It's the best one.
It's the best one. You heard it here first.
Like there's not a lot of competition.
Well, I mean, there's like 6 of them, right?
Yeah. And like they're pretty much all trash, right?
Well, yeah. Except for this one.
There's oh gosh. Well, Duels of the Planeswalkers, which got me back into Magic,
yeah,
so thank you.
Duels was okay.
Duels was fine.
Well, there was 2 Duels games, right? There was Duels 2014 and Duels 2015.
I was on 15, I do believe.
Yeah.
I had it on my iPad. It was sick.
Yep.
And then wasn't there was like a game like on like the consoles, right? Like that's
one
where
of those
Scavenging Ooze came from?
Yeah, one of
Okay.
those Duels games was on consoles.
And then we had the ill-fated like weird knockoff MMO weird like Diablo clone
Yeah.
that lasted like 3 weeks.
It wasn't even released, was it? It was only in beta. And
Maybe it was only in
like,
beta
yeah,
and they
this was
killed
awful.
it.
Yeah. And then there was Magic Puzzle Quest.
Magic Puzzle Quest. Have you wanted to play Candy Crush where you slowly reveal a picture of Nissa? Magic Puzzle Quest.
And there was a new one that just came out, right?
There is?
I think so. There was a new like mobile Magic game that just came out. Like, I don't know, within the last 3 or 4 months, I think.
This Wikipedia page. Here we go. There's Battle Mage, Armageddon, Magic the Gathering on Sega?
Oh, I had no idea about that one.
It's a Dreamcast game. Though in Japan only. So okay. In the games they count the Magic the Gathering Interactive Encyclopedia.
Oh, sure.
Magic Online.
Magic Online.
Battlegrounds. Duels of the Planeswalkers. Magic Tactics.
I don't remember that one either.
Released in 2011, shut down in 2014. It was a turn-based strategy game.
Ooh.
There was Duels 12, 13, 14, and 15.
Oh, wow. Way more than I thought.
Yeah. Magic Duels. Magic Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering Arena. Magic Legends, a free-to-play action role-playing game.
Yeah, that's the one you were talking about.
Yeah, has since been canceled as of June 2021.
Yep.
And yeah. And the game we're talking about, the best one, not listed under Magic the Gathering video games.
Really, at all?
Nope, it is. I typed in, I'm on the Wikipedia entry for Magic the Gathering video games.
Huh.
And it has 17 offerings. 4 of them are Duels of the Planeswalkers.
Wow.
And 5 of them are Duels of the Planeswalkers. And not the best game. So, that is the longest intro before we've said, hey, if you want to reach out to us and let us know what the best Magic video game is, if it's somehow not the one we're going to talk about. All of those social media links are in the description below, so go check those out and reach out to us on Twitter, on Facebook, on Discord, all those fun places.
Yeah, hit us up. If you're looking to support the show, not at all related to the best Magic video game ever that we're going to talk about today, there's 2 ways you can do it. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. Follow that link, purchase whatever you're going to purchase, singles, sealed product, whatever, and anything that you buy will help support the show. We would appreciate it. If you want to support us more directly, you can do so at patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. If you think we do a good job and you want to show us that you think we do a good job, or if you want access to the Patreon perks, you can chip a couple bucks in, whatever you think we're worth, whatever you can afford, we would appreciate. Patrons get access to my show notes early, so you know what we're going to be talking about that week. They also get access to our pre-show. Comes out usually on Wednesdays. So that The pre-show is just kind of extra content. It's us making sure all our equipment works and catching up, and we don't really get out and socialize like we used to. So our pre-show is kind of us catching up, two buddies catching up. But it's just more of us. If you like what we do, there's more of it in the pre-show. And you get put on my mailing list for when I have cool givebacks for you guys, which I haven't done yet. So the next round might be a little late. Sorry. But yeah, if you want access to that stuff, chip into patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. We also have our YouTube channel where Brian's putting up some limited content currently. We don't know for how much longer because the limited format isn't really grabbing them like they usually do. But that comes out Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We've got the show coming out on YouTube. The video version comes out on Thursdays with the actual show. And then on Tuesdays, I've been doing some constructed stuff. I played, what was the first one I played? Rada Drabic Historic Brawl. That was fun. And then the one that comes out tomorrow, a couple days ago when you guys hear this, is Historic Eggs with an awesome thumbnail.
Awesome.
Yeah. Deck was a lot of fun to play, and I got some cool ones coming up too, so make sure you check that out on YouTube.
We definitely have improved as podcasters, but as a thumbnail creator, James has gone through the stratosphere. They are amazing. I make a little template and throw some text on it. He's doing art over there. He is doing art,
but
with the thumbnails. The eggs thumbnail, I saw it on my phone. I made my wife stop what she was doing, and I showed her the thumbnail. I was like, look at this. She was just like, oh. But I was like, this
yeah, my artwork. You guys should go check out the thumbnail if you haven't seen it yet. It should be live on YouTube when you're listening to this.
Yeah, so I may have hyped it up, but it's good.
It is good.
I almost died laughing.
Do you know how long it took me to find that font?
Oh, I
bet you I had more time searching for an eggy font than I did doing the entire rest of that thumbnail.
The Google search for eggy font is just can't be too helpful.
Well, see, you would think that. The problem is that somebody at some point, this is way off topic. I'm sorry, you guys, but you'll appreciate this story. Somebody at some point made a font of pictures of fried eggs in the shape of letters. So they're actual fried eggs as letters of the alphabet. So when you use the font, it's a fried egg in the shape of an A, a fried egg in the shape of an R, or whatever. And a lot of fonts you can download for personal use or limited use or for free or whatever. That font was nowhere except to purchase for $100.
Dear God.
And when you search for eggy font or eggs font or whatever, all you get are news articles covering the person that made that font. It was extremely hard to find an eggy font.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've just now seen this. It almost looks like they made that they made the eggs in this shape.
Yeah, that's exactly what
pictures
it
of
looks like. Yeah, they put the egg in a frying pan shaped like a C, and that's the letter C.
All right. Okay. So with all of that, let us talk about Magic 30.
Magic 30.
So,
lots of weird things around this.
If everyone in your community that plays your game has told you that they hate your product and they want nothing to do with it and they'd rather eat broken glass than give you money for your product, what do?
You find people that might want it.
that do not play your game.
Yeah. People that have never heard of such product.
And so that's what Magic did. They apparently, from various reports and Twitter things and whatnot, went to Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon people and just were like, how much
Yeah.
for you to open this, or went, here is all of the money.
Mm-hmm.
Open this on your stream. And apparently many of them said, nah, I'm good, dog.
Yeah, like the smart ones did.
What happened to the people that took Wizards' tainted evil money?
So I think there was only one person that did.
Okay.
And I don't know, like, I don't want to stir up a whole bunch of drama or whatever. And I know that dude has taken his video down and released like apology statements and apology videos. And I guess like his Twitter's been a mess, people harassing him or whatever. So don't do that. But, some Yu-Gi-Oh! Like box opening channel opened up almost 2 boxes of this. I think Wizards gave him 2 boxes and said you have to do like an Instagram post with 1 pack, but you can open the rest on channel. And I guess he was just like obliterated in comments and on Twitter and everything with people harassing him about like this product.
I, again, just want to remind people that these people that are on YouTube, many of them are working on very thin like margins.
Yeah.
Right? They're like, man, if my video doesn't get 15,000 views this week, I don't get to eat.
Right.
Right? And then someone comes up to them and goes, I'm going to give you $10,000 or whatever it is to make a 20-minute YouTube video where you open packs. And someone goes, well, let me see here. I get to eat this month.
Mm-hmm. And pay my rent.
And pay my rent. And I have like built-in promotion for my channel.
Right.
And this particular video, I don't need to come up with like a thing to do for this video.
And then in all reality, you probably get to sell like the product that you open for a profit.
Yeah. I mean, they send it to you for free. It's all profit.
Right.
So like if I don't know, if Nintendo contacted us and said you want to crack some like Pokemon, I don't know if I would like we'll give you $10,000 to open Pokemon packs.
I'm in.
Sold. Nintendo. Yep. Mario. Just get at Casual Tripod on Twitter.
Oh, I would dress up like Pikachu.
Pika. Hey,
well,
Facebook.
I'm more of a Snorlax though, aren't I?
My Facebook avatar has been Pikachu wearing Attack on Titan mobility gear for 4 years.
I can attest to that.
So I already got the strong branding there for you, Nintendo. Like, I don't know, like I would open it, and then if I like open it and people were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you opened this," I'd be like, "Dude, look how many zeros were after the 1 for what I had to do." Right? Like, hey, like, you know, are you? I guess on one hand, right? You could be hurting people if like you open this and go like, "Hey, these cards are cool, whatever," and someone's like, "Oh, I want to buy this," and I wouldn't have otherwise bought it, right? But I don't know. It's, you know, I'm not dunking on LR by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know. You're Tom Brady, and you're like, hey, buy crypto.
Right.
Hey, I'm Steph Curry. I shoot threes and buy crypto.
Yeah.
Right? What did more damage there?
Right.
Right? So, I don't know. Like, I feel for that guy. Like, again, like, I know what I know about Pokemon. There's Pikachu, there's Holo First Edition, Charmander, that's, or Charizard, that's your dude, that's what you want. That is the Black Lotus of Pokemon.
Okay.
And Paul Brother has spent way too much money on a fake case of First Edition Pokemon cards.
Well, I thought
that's my Pokemon knowledge.
I thought there was like a fat rainbow Pikachu that was really expensive too.
Maybe. I don't know about Fat Rainbow Pikachu.
I thought that was like the big thing was the fat rainbow Pikachu.
So we've got our finger on the pulse of Pokemon. And if there was a product that Nintendo was releasing that made the Poke people angry, I would not know.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, okay, Nintendo, is this Pokemon product drugs? Is it literal like LSD? And if they were like, no, for $10,000, I'm gonna open your packs.
Sure.
Right? Like as long as I don't open them and get a contact high,
We're
gold.
good. Yeah.
We're good. So like, I don't fault the guy.
Right. No, I don't.
Right?
Either.
I guess he had to send his money back after he took down his video.
I really don't know. I don't know like the whole story.
Like
I know
what the like wild contract is.
Yeah. I know it stirred up a whole bunch of controversy to the point where like other influencers in games outside of Magic were posting up on that video talking about how they were offered obscene amounts of money to do the same thing that they initially accepted, but after researching the product, declined.
Yeah.
So the reason we brought it up though is it went on sale today.
It did.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Nobody knows. So it went live at noon.
Okay.
I saw some people posting that based on like order numbers that people had provided, like people that actually bought the product provided, that somewhere around 1,000 people ordered this. Now again, I don't have no idea if that's actual numbers or not. It's, based on whoever had reported their order numbers to whoever was collecting order numbers. But not very many people, according to that statistic. It was live for somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes. I'm pretty sure it was down everywhere by 12:40. I saw reports of being down at 12:30. I saw reports of being down at 12:35, like all throughout there. So it might be like based on where you are was when it went down. But I guess the verbiage was weird when it was taken down. It never said sold out. It said currently unavailable, which a lot of people are saying means that it didn't actually sell out. I think like that's pretty common verbiage. I don't know if like that necessarily means that it didn't sell out or it did sell out or whatever. But I guess the telling thing is that there were no crashes and no queue times. So when we just had the Secret Lair Advent Calendar that I really wanted that I didn't end up getting because I couldn't get in, like the website was crashing constantly. There were really long wait times when you were trying to check out, and there were no wait times for this whole like 40-minute period. Which kind of tells me nobody's buying it.
Yeah, exactly. But like you had said last week, if they sold one of these, they'd be like, whoo, demand was through the roof. We couldn't believe how popular the product was. So, like, you're not going to know.
Right. Yeah, they're never going to tell you. They're just going to tell you it was a success.
Yeah, but, like, it is very, like, the products that people have wanted. Think about, why is it that we both have a foil uncut sheet of War of the Spark in our house?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was when they did it through eBay and they just like screwed everything up.
It was through whatever company they used before Scale Fast. I don't remember what the company was, but yeah, they screwed the pooch.
Yeah, like it's consistent when there is a product that people want.
Yep.
Like the website cannot handle the traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's been like multiple Secret Lairs that did the same thing as this last Advent Calendar one did. I don't remember what the last one. There's been a few that I missed out on that I wanted that just sold out before they were available.
Yeah. So like the fact that this didn't is not good for them. Imagine if like only 1,000 of these sold.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, you were allowed to buy 5, I think. So according to that, I don't know if that number's right. I don't know if they got people from all over the world or just one region or whatever that might influence that number. But I mean, all of those 1,000 people could have bought 5, so 5,000 of them.
Imagine 5,000 of them sold.
Mm-hmm.
You incinerated millions of dollars of goodwill and advertising and just everything that companies spend years to build for $5 million.
Yeah.
Right, like you couldn't have broke even.
Right.
With like the amount of hate associated with your product now, you could not have possibly broke even.
So I have absolutely no following on Twitter, right? Like I barely use Twitter at all. I follow like the show and a couple places to get deck lists and like a couple friends, and that's it.
Oh, but you had the knives out today. I like that tweet.
Did you? A lot of other people did too.
Yeah, you had the knives out, man. I just opened Twitter to check on my likes to see if anything had happened with your tweet. But yeah, you were coming for him.
Yeah. So Magic put a tweet saying that this product was on sale, and I forget what I tweeted at him. Something about, or I was asking him. Go
Did you use what's it called? I wish I was better at Twitter.
Card Conjurer.
Yeah, did you use Card Conjurer to make these cards? So
yeah,
16 likes. Yeah. Did you use Card Conjurer to make these proxies you're selling for $1,000?
Yeah.
Oh, you got a reply.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think I saw that.
Yeah, they used Card Conjurer, then took it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I was like, whew, coming in hot.
Yep. Hey, sometimes you got to. You got to drive that point home. Did you see when Wizards announced that it was sold out? Did you see that tweet?
No.
They didn't say it was sold out, but they announced it was no longer available. And like the entire comments for that tweet are people posting the card Greed. Like every single person. It was pretty good. I got to chuckle.
Just people just going hard.
Yeah.
Looking now. Okay, interesting. The card Greed has a content warning, sensitive content.
Oh, really?
The tweet author flagged this tweet as showing sensitive content.
No way.
It was just Greed. The card Greed with the guy throwing up. Then Greed made with, I assume, Card Conjurer with Hasbro in the middle.
Oh, yeah?
Old school Greed, yeah. Oh, man, this one's it just spins Greed. It's just people scrolling through Twitter at all the Greed posts. It's just a video of that.
Nice.
Oh.
Good job, Magic players.
Someone went to another game, I think Yu-Gi-Oh, for Reckless Greed.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, these Greeds don't have other things.
No more content warnings, just the one? No
content warnings, yeah. Oh, this is Gordon Gekko from Wall Street. Greed is good. The burden of greed. Yeah, so yeah, pretty fire there.
Yeah.
Way to go, Twitterverse.
Good job,
Twitter. It'll be sad when this website's gone.
I don't know. Twitter's
probably
questionable.
not. Probably not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely seems like from the outside that this has been a colossal disaster.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know either way. Well, I guess we will know, because we'll know if they do it again.
True. If it happens again, it was successful enough.
Yeah. Or it's already in the pipeline and they can't stop it.
Magic 30th anniversary. Arabian Nights and Legends.
Or Urza's, like, I mean, we talked about it before. They could do like an Urza's block. They could make them as draft sets. I don't know.
Yeah.
That, like, a beta draft is a cool thing that, like, has been shown to be popular. Like, a lot of people tuned in to watch the beta draft when they had it at Vegas a couple years ago or whatever. The, like, early expansions weren't really designed to be drafted. so I don't know if you'd get. I don't think like an Arabian Nights Antiquities Legends draft would be super entertaining.
No, no, those sets have nothing to do with each other.
Well, and like no coherent mechanics in them.
No, but the first set designed for draft was Mirage.
Was it Mirage or Ice Age?
I thought it was Mirage.
Maybe. Anyways, not the early expansions. But they could do something like this for like Urza's block. I mean, there's plenty of stuff in Urza's block that's nostalgic and cool art and worth a whole bunch of money that people would be willing to pay for proxies of.
Yeah. I was just thinking here that it is funny that if you think about like the 25th anniversary of Magic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. I see where you're going.
Think about how different the 25th anniversary of Magic was received.
Yeah.
And what they did. Right? They were like, hey, we're going to like play Legacy at the Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to go around with all these like beta cards and do these like high-end beta drafts.
Yep.
And like, you know, you're going to play events wild. You're going to play events to then be able to win a chance to get a seat in this beta draft, and whatever you open, you get to keep if you draft it.
Yep.
Right? And then now it's like $1,000 booster packs.
Yep.
Like, was there even a product to commemorate the 25th anniversary? Was it just like
there was, and I thought that's where you were going with it because
it was a draft set, right? It was M25.
It was a Masters 25.
Masters 25, yeah, but it was like a reasonably priced draft set.
Well, no, it was a Masters set. It was $8, $9, $10 boosters, whatever.
I mean, compared to $250.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I did drafts of that format. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Right, like so it was reasonably enough price that I was willing to do a draft of the format.
Yeah.
Right, like it was like $35 or something to do a draft. $30,
something like that, maybe.
Right, in $750 for a draft. Out.
Yeah, no, thank you.
But like just like the way the 25th anniversary was handled, where it was like a celebration of like playing the game Magic the Gathering.
Well, it was a celebration of like the historical way of playing the game. Like Legacy is the oldest format, or like second old. No, I guess it's the oldest format because it was Type 1.
Yeah, it was Type 1, yeah. But you have like, hey, we want to highlight these old cards to how can we trick people into paying us for things that look like these old cards?
Right.
And then give them no place to play them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just totally different.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, what happened in the, like, previous 5 years to bring that, like, corporate shift to Wizards.
Well, I mean, a lot of, like, things definitely happened in, like, the corporate structure of Hasbro and Wizards. Like, there's been people shuffled around. But also, it might not have anything to do with corporate. It might be the times that we live in now. I mean, we started talking about like how things were changing back when COVID started. Like it just so happened to work out that the year of Commander was the year of COVID. And literally the only thing you couldn't play competitively, the only thing that you could do was either get together with a couple friends who you trusted not to be sick and play Commander, or play Spell Table Commander. So that's what everybody did. And now, like, everybody just plays Commander and there's no competitive formats. Well, what do you do for Wizards if you've driven all of your customers to play either digitally or casually?
You sell them pimped out cards.
Or cards that aren't tournament legal because, like, tournaments don't matter anymore.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just funny how that, like, just comparing the two anniversaries, it's like, oh, these are, like, totally different. Like, the way they're handled is totally different.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like the 30th anniversary is more squeezing money out of people, where the 25th anniversary was more like, hey, isn't this game fun?
Yeah.
Didn't you like playing this game? It's like, yeah, I did like playing this game.
I sure
You should
did.
play this game some more. All right. So, we got anything else for the 30th anniversary?
I don't think so.
Cash grab?
No, I think that's about it. I wasn't even really going to talk about it, but since the big sale was today, I figured we'd mention it, and it seems like every other content creator's done something on it, so.
Yeah, so.
Our thoughts.
James had said, I've got a weird show for you. And I wish I would have waited to open the show notes. Because I opened the show notes and I was like, oh my gosh, we're talking about Shandalstein.
That's right. Not the plane.
This is great.
The video game. For some, like, I had this as a, potential future topic in my show ideas file, but we never talked about it. We've mentioned it on the show a few times, but never done an episode about it. And for some reason, I don't know why, it seems like every year around the holidays, there's like a resurgence of interest in this game. Like people start streaming it and people start talking about it every year around the holidays. So I figured we'd like get in on the ground floor and talk about it before other people start talking about it.
Yeah. I think that there is a like in December, like there's like a huge lull in competitive Magic when that used to matter.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's always the holiday cube on Magic Online. So there's like that, and if you're like not a cube person and you've got to like bang out content, right? Or you can only do like, 85 cube drafts before you lose your mind or whatever. You're like, I gotta find something else to do, and it's like Chandelar's here for me.
Yep.
So if you like search for Chandelar, you'll find like a number of like Let's Plays. Like the first one that comes up is Gabby Sparks when she used to stream. Like in 2019, she has a playthrough of Chandelar. I think I watched a Matt Nass playthrough of Chandelar.
That'd be kind of cool.
I've watched a couple.
Yeah.
But Chandelar, I played it probably in '97.
I think I still have my old copy somewhere.
Amazing.
Yep.
I do not, but the internet is forever.
It is. Yeah, the game's from like way back when, 1997. And because of that, it's like kind of what they call it, abandonware. Like I don't actually know what abandonware, like the legal definition of it is, or if there is a legal definition. But it's games that are no longer being developed or pursued or whatever. They're just kind of out there in existence, kind of in like a legal gray area. So the game is available on the internet and people aren't pursuing to take it down. Is my assumption, I guess.
According to Wikipedia, abandonware is a product, typically software, ignored by its owner and manufacturer, and for which there is no official support. So abandonware, such as software or hardware, subcase of general concept of orphan works, museums, and various organizations dedicated to preserving the software continue to provide legal access. So basically, now this could change. Wizards has said, Microprose,
right.
Is that who printed and made it?
Yep.
Microprose has said, yeah, we probably don't exist anymore, so we have no lawyers to stop you from using our game.
Right.
And Wizards have said, we don't care about this.
Yep.
So we are not going to cease and desist whatever website has
hosted Shandalstein.
Yeah. So we're going to just let this ride because we're not in the video game making space, really.
Yeah. So before we talk about like how to get it or whatever, what's the basic premise of the game? Do you remember?
I saw your little thing. I remember bits and pieces of it. You're a little dude.
Yep.
You walk around. There are like random encounters where you play Magic against people. You play for Auntie. Sick.
Yep.
and you there are like castles that are controlled by different wizards of a particular color,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to fight all of those wizards
Mm-hmm.
by you traverse the land and you fight your way to those wizards, and then you fight through a dungeon
Mm-hmm.
that like kind of like populates as you walk through, and you beat each monocolored wizard, and then that allows you to get to the last guy.
Yep. Yeah, that's basically nailed it. The one part that you kind of left out is you like part of the game is wandering around trying to find new spells.
Mm-hmm.
So while you're like fighting or battling like the minions from the wizards and working up to the wizards themselves, you're going to different towns and exploring and looking for spells to make your deck out of.
You can buy cards and like there like be like wrecked pirate ships or
Yep.
like ruins that you could go visit,
Yep.
and they would have cards.
Mm-hmm. Or cemeteries or temples or whatever. Yep.
Yeah, and they so this is from a simpler time of the decks were like 40 cards.
I think you could go as low as 36 before they would
Okay.
start like adding random cards to your deck. But the like number of copies of card per deck changed based on how many cards your deck was. Like if you had a 40 card deck, I think you were only allowed like 3 copies of a card.
Oh, I didn't think there was a limit, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. And then I think you had to have 60 cards for 4 copies of a card.
Yeah, and it's like you just would jam demonic consultation. Internal contract?
Contract from below.
Contract from below, where it's like ante another card, like draw 4 or something.
No, it's Wheel of Fortune, but just for you. For one black mana.
Yes, but you have to ante a card. That is
ante a card. Yep.
Yeah, so it's a draw 7 for 1 mana, but you have to take the random top card of your library off your deck and go like, I guess I could technically lose this game after I play this 1 mana wheel.
But probably
so
not.
Here, you would get this card if I did.
Yeah. But I just got 7 cards, so I'm not going to lose.
So I'm not going to lose.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. And the rest of my cards are Moxen and Lightning Bolts and Fireballs.
Dark Rituals and Hypnotic Specters.
They're also good.
Yep.
So it is like simultaneously like janky and weird,
mm-hmm.
but just like so endearing.
Yeah.
And like just like legitimately and genuinely fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like it scratches that itch for me in games of like, hey, I want to like do the most busted thing I can, or I want to make my character as powerful as humanly possible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, just walk around and you're gonna like bump into a bunch of Moxen and
yeah, I mean, if you have no lands
stuff
in your deck and just Moxes and Lotuses, then like you get to do some pretty broken stuff.
Yeah, it's like I have no lands, I have Moxen and 1 mana Wheel of Fortunes.
Yeah,
I think I'll be okay.
I think one of the coolest things about this game for me is that it's like very Magic from when I was a kid. There's insanely powerful cards being played alongside cards that like aren't good enough to be draft chaff now.
3 mana 2/2, no text.
Yeah, and like that's a card that you will have in your deck.
Yes.
And like even if you have like Moxes and Lightning Bolts and stuff, like you're going to have stinkers in your deck.
And there is an aspect of like you play the cards that you have.
Mm-hmm. Like
eventually you can work up to having like a cohesive like good deck, yeah. But like at the beginning and for like maybe the first quarter to third of the game,
yeah,
you're just like whatever derpy BS I have in my deck, I guess is what I have to play.
Yeah. One of the other really cool things about this game that you touched on very briefly, that I think is unique, and one of the reasons I like it is that you play for ante. Like there are stakes. Yeah. You are going to, if you lose, you are going to lose at least a card out of your deck. And I guess I would assume that you're playing good cards in your deck that you don't want to lose.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. Like I alluded to earlier, if you're running a 40 card deck, you can only have 3 of each card. A lot of times when I play, I try and collect 4 copies of each card in case I lose a game along the way. That way I have a backup.
Yeah.
Um, but you
The
like you
AI
can't play
makes
ante anywhere else. Like
you
even
can't.
it's been outlawed like basically ever since the game was around. The cards have been banned. So I don't like even people that were playing way back when never played for ante because the cards weren't legal. So it's
Yeah.
kind of neat to play with some of that kind of stuff. It's like the only place you
Um,
can play with it.
Yeah, and the AI is 1997 AI. Makes Sparky look like John Finkel.
Well, I mean, it gets better at harder difficulties, but yeah, if you're playing on like a moderate difficulty, it's kind of a joke.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I probably played on like whatever it defaulted to.
Yeah.
So I have heard it does get harder at tougher difficulties, but
Yeah.
it's still not like A plus.
No, it's definitely not me sitting across from Brian and playing a game of Magic. It's more like me sitting across from somebody that's never played Magic before.
Gavin. It's just you and Gavin in a battle of wits.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Get hit in the eye with a card. Ah.
Yeah.
So yeah. But like again, like that's part of its charm.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, another thing that's kind of cool is that because it came out in 97, that's the rule set that you use. So like mana burn is a thing.
Yeah.
Don't tap your lands if you're not going to use them.
Like they have tried to like put together all these like we at the beginning read through like a random collection of like terrible Magic games that most of us hadn't heard of, I assume.
Yeah.
Right? Like they have a good Magic the Gathering game that they could like slap a fresh coat of paint on.
Yeah.
Like make it run on a computer not from 1997 easily. And like re-release.
Yeah.
And I think people would give them money.
I mean, I would give them money.
Yeah, just like, oh, hey, cool, I can have access to this.
Like, I can't imagine that there would be that much effort in doing something with this game.
Yeah, like, you already have the Sparky AI.
Right.
Just dump that into here. Ta-da, Sparky AI.
Yeah.
Right? And, like, you could, you know, make the graphics not 8-bit, 16-bit.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I feel like it was 16-bit in 97, but I don't remember. Like, PlayStation 1 was out then. So, maybe 32-bit. Like, they have, like, a good, reasonable game that I think people would play. And, like, even if they just gave it to someone and just, like, made it, you know, like a cheap, like, $5 download on the App Store.
Yeah.
I think people would just be like, okay, like...
Well, that's actually... I have a whole section here of ideas for the game, and that's kind of one of my ideas. I think that, like, one of the cool parts about this game is that it's not super long. Like, if you sit down and have, like, you could get through this game in, like, a night if you wanted to. It's not super long. And I think that's good because, like, the longer you play, the more overpowered your deck becomes, and it gets kind of less fun. You're just, like, beating the snot out of every single minion you come across, you're destroying. Which is, I mean, it's kind of good for your ego, but it's not, like, it's not challenging, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that, like, it being short is kind of a good thing. But you could also, like, just keep it short and do, 6 hours of story and gameplay on every set that was on Dominaria. And, like, your card pool for, like, that version of the game would be cards from Dominaria. And then you could go to Ravnica and do, like, 6 hours of gameplay in Ravnica, whatever your story is, walking through whatever, and your card pool is cards from Ravnica. I thought like that'd be pretty cool, and it'd be like, you know, little bite-sized games that, you know, your customers would buy more than one of. Like if you're really tied to Theros, you'd buy like the Theros version. If you know, are in love with Lorwyn, you buy the Lorwyn version or whatever. But I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I think that it would be like you'd be able to like monetize it, and you wouldn't have to put like a ton of money into it, and I think people would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we want for our 30th anniversary, Magic.
Yeah.
We want Shandalstein.
We want Shandalstein.
You know what 2022 was? The 25th anniversary of Shandalstein.
There you go. We should have had Shandalstein.
Could have released Shandalstein.
Yeah.
Like, is it like definitively a game of that era? Right? The dungeons, like, as you walk, they like load in, and like so you can see where you're walking.
Yeah.
And there's like the enemies are just standing there, and it's like, oh, they randomly spawned, and none of them blocked my path, so I didn't have to fight any enemies till the final boss.
Yeah.
Or like, oh man, they all blocked my path. This sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so that's kind of another thing, and kind of leads into another one of my ideas here, is I think this game would be kind of cool as like an old school dungeon crawler instead of being top down. If it was like first person and you'd like walked like square by square by square by square, I thought that might be kind of cool too.
Shandadoom.
Dumalar. There you go. Wolfadar 3D.
Wolfadar 3D. Shandalstein.
I think we just found the name of the episode.
Shandalstein
3D.
Yeah. I mean, that is a name for this game and a delicious bagel place.
100%. I also kind of like that this game's single player. Like there's a bunch of decent ways to play this game against like other humans, and not really any ways to play like just by yourself. So, you know, maybe upgrade the Sparky AI a little bit, but yeah, just playing against AI. Like I don't want this game to have like a whole bunch of me's running around trying to do the same quests that I am. I just want
This does not need to be an MMO.
No.
This does not need to be like you know, Magic the Gathering, Warcraft.
No.
No.
Not.
I just need you to like throw a coat of paint on it. And like you said, like make it so you could like buy card packs or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Theros or whatever. Or like if you had them in, like, hey, like what sets do you want to play with? 94, 95? Like you could like pick chunks and be like, oh, okay. Like that would be fine.
Yeah.
And like again, like how you monetize it. It's free to play, but you only start out with 93, 94.
Yeah.
And you've got to pay $5 for the Shadow Moor.
Yep.
The Llanowar block.
Well, so I was thinking like like there has to be some kind of, even if it's super loose like the story of this, like there has to be some kind of story, otherwise you're just walking around doing like battling stuff, you know what I mean? So I was thinking like they could like do a version on a plane. So like you're walking around Dominaria doing a story, and you have access to Dominaria cards. You're walking around on Ravnica completing a story, you have access to Ravnica
but like
cards.
if you had the same story, right, like the same basic thing, but instead of like playing 2/2s for 3,
yeah,
you'd be like, you know what, I want cards from this block.
Yeah,
I love, you know, Mirage Visions Ice Age or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Or Tempest Mirage Visions, whatever that is. I want the Wrath block.
Yeah.
And now instead of having Contract from Below and Moxen, you have cards from Mirage and Visions.
Yep.
Right?
Lion's Eye Diamond
Like that
and
would,
Wasteland.
Yeah, like that would be an interesting thing to do. Like, you know, they'd have to like limit you on like how many.
Right.
Like, you know, because it'd be too hard for them to just put all the cards in.
Right.
Yeah, but like, oh, the Wrath block, it's like, okay, you get 500 cards, you get 400 cards from this that are like cards that people who played at that time will remember.
Yeah.
And then random 2/2s for 3 because they have to,
Right.
right? And then you like play those cards,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then you're like, oh, like I want the Ravnica cards. It's like cool, you get 600 Ravnica cards,
Yep.
right? And then you just get to play with Ravnica cards. You get to play the story through with like a set of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the beginning, you're like what era are you playing in?
Yeah. That'd be a good way to
So
do it.
like apparently Shandalar's thing as a plane. I just learned this.
Mhm.
Is it's the plane that isn't tied to a location in the multiverse. It just floats free.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I knew some other stuff about this plane. I guess I didn't know that though.
So just reading real quick, like apparently WotC Creative was
Mhm.
like, well, Dominaria already has gone through like an apocalypse,
Yeah.
and we're like in a post-apocalyptic world. We need a place that we can just do base fantasy.
Okay.
So we're gonna make Shandalar, and the reason all of these creatures that you know from base fantasy are here is because it just kind of
Wanders
floats
around.
through the multiverse and like has picked things up, I guess.
Okay. I know Chandalar is where the chain veil was made.
Okay.
Lily's chain veil is from Chandalar. And I know like some of the OG like pre-mending planeswalkers used Chandalar as a prison, I believe.
Okay.
Because it wasn't whatever. I didn't know that that was the unique property, but I knew that the plane had a unique property that they decided to use as a prison. And there was something else weird about this plane too, but now I can't remember it. We've referenced it a bunch, but have never been there.
Yeah.
Although I think we're going there, aren't we?
We're going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the creative team of Wizards of the Coast fleshed out Chandalar. Okay. So they wanted to be an approachable setting for Magic's fantasy staples, blah, blah. Because Dominaria had developed its own distinct post-apocalyptic, Chandalar replaced it as the setting for a number of baseline fantasy core set cards. And up here it says it's a rogue plane drifting through the multiverse instead of retaining a steady position or course.
Okay.
It is a relatively small plane and incredibly rich in mana. The magical energy is so prevalent that it is all sentient, and the common people use minor spells as everyday convenience.
Okay.
So there we go. That is from the MTG Wiki.
Thanks, MTG Wiki.
Thank you, fandom, for running this site.
Yep.
So it was last seen in 2015.
Soul of Chandalar.
Oh yeah,
The Red Soul. And
that is right.
That's actually the core set that we got the chain veil from too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And Onaki Ancient, the Onaki people lived on Chandalar. The people who made the chain veil.
Man, oh man.
I know things. It's the beard.
Oh. Curd Ape is from Chandalar.
Oh, yeah?
Curd, home of apes,
I guess
is one of the notable locations.
All right.
I didn't know that either. And then, I'm looking at like different like notable places on the plane, and there's nothing that like strikes me as like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah.
Planeswalkers, Boragor, and
Boragor.
Kennen Saramal. I don't know that.
Sure.
And then Garruk Wildspeaker visited.
Okay.
Someone named Icy.
Okay.
Jace Bellerin. Ob. Liliana.
I
A
figured
couple other
Liliana
people.
had to go there to get the chain veil.
Yeah. So there's Soul of Chandalar.
I wonder if Icy is one of those unnamed planeswalkers from like Duel of the Planeswalkers or something.
Maybe. Acolyte of the Xanthrid. Interesting. Oh, so all the like it's not Xan, it's XATHRID. like
Thread.
like Sling Blade, like
Yeah.
the woman from M15, the uncommon where it's like leaning up against the wall.
Yeah.
So all of those cards are Xanthrid Necromancer.
Oh, okay. They're all Xanthids a place on Shandalstein.
Yes, apparently.
Hmm.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
War Priest of Thune,
I didn't know Thune was a place on Shandalstein.
Ring of Thune.
Yeah, Archangel.
Oh, Archangel of I did not know.
I also did not know.
We are learning things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kurd Ape, Kurd Chieftain. Yeah, man. Obelisk of Erd, my boy.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So we have some very iconic cards, or at least cards that were cool, that came from this
Chandler?
plane.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Chandler, yeah. So it is just a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is just like, I want to sit down and spend an afternoon and like kind of like have a nostalgic trip down memory lane.
Yep.
It is this.
Yep.
So,
was there anything else that you thought might be a good idea to include in a remake? I know I kind of sprung this episode idea on you at the last minute, so you didn't really have time to brainstorm, but
I think that like a lot of like they could make the game longer by, instead of having monocolored castles, you could have all the color pairs.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if I want the game longer though. Like I said, I think it is like the right length, because by the time you're done, like your deck is so overpowered. As long as you're like winning and finding the cards you need, your deck is so overpowered that the game's not really fun anymore. Like a lot of times I found myself like building a deck, like scrounging cards, trying to win cards, like seeking out enemies, because you can get like specific cards as rewards from enemies. And then I'll get to a point where it's like not so much fun anymore, so I just like blow through all the castles and then slay the demon and then start over again.
And what is it? The demon is only locked away for a set amount of time?
Maybe that's where I got the prison thing from. The demon is trying to cast like a world spell or something, trying to cast like a big spell, and needs the mana links from the wizards on the plane to cast this spell. So all of the individual wizards are trying to gain these mana links from the towns, and you have to try and stop these mana links and then beat the wizards. So once you beat the wizards, then you have to go fight this big demon, is kind of like the story. And then, yeah, for like every life point of damage you like, I don't think you're supposed to beat the demon. But it has like 100 health or something. And every point of damage you deal to it is like 7 years that gets locked away for.
Yeah. So I'm just, so I was searching for Shandalstein Demon, because I went like, but Reddit first like third hit. Does anyone still play Shandalstein? And then a little bit further down, like towards the bottom of the first page, from Reddit, I don't know when. The title is, "Holy crap, the old MTG Shandalstein game is phenomenal." A review of a classic game from 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Still phenomenal.
Yep.
Just like, holy crap, this game's good. Yes.
It is good.
All of us who played it a million years ago,
yep,
know that it is good. And like, I'm looking at the graphics. They're an old game. They remind me of, did you ever play the first Fallout?
I did, yeah.
It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like three-quarters, like top-down view.
Yep.
Right? And just like pixelated AF. But it is great. Clicking on screenshots, it's like, oh, my opponent seems to have there's like Brain Geyser, a Black Lotus happening. There's Ollie from Cairo. Aladdin's Lamp, Air Elemental, just great. Acid Rain.
So before we wrap this up here, do you want to talk about, I don't know if we should include this or not, but like where to find the game, or
I mean,
like what's out there?
we should let people know what's up. I will say real quick, there is a feeling that I've heard this that we're going to Chandalar as like a set.
Mm-hmm.
This would be an amazing time for Wizards of the Coast to adopt Chandalar back.
Yeah.
Make it so it runs on computers from this century.
Yeah.
And re-release it.
Or
even
like
if they do nothing
persecute
else,
all of the people that are currently hosting it.
We could skip out on that. We could skip out on the persecution.
Yeah.
Just like, hey, here's, you know what? You guys can keep hosting the jank version that like is super hard to run.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a version that you can just download from our site. It'll be, 45 megabits, and it won't take up any server space for us. It'll be great.
Yeah.
So yeah, how do we get this? Because I may get this.
Well, so I put 2 links in the show notes.
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to include them in the description or not.
I think we can.
Okay. I will give you guys a caveat. This is abandonware and has been compiled and added to run on newer computers, because this was only meant to run on like Windows 95. So I have no idea what is actually in this code. Download it and run it at your own risk.
Yes.
Okay? Not responsible if something eats your computer. Have no idea what's in there. It's in a bunch of different places. I don't remember where I downloaded it from. I have both versions on my computer. I don't remember where I downloaded it from. I haven't had issues with the ones that I downloaded. I don't know if these 2 were good or not, but they were the first 2 that I found that looked like reasonable websites. There is an old version of the game and a new version of the game. The old version of the game is the version that we had back in 1997 or 8 or whatever. There is an expansion for this game, and I believe it's included in the OG like compiled version. There was also an updated version of this game that the community remastered in like 2010 or 2011, I think, and added like a ton more cards to. I personally like the old version better. I think the new version is almost too hard, because it's a lot harder to build a cohesive deck when there's like just a whole bunch of random cards in there, and there's no way, like you can't really seek out specific cards. You're just kind of at the whim of whatever is thrown at you. So building a deck with, cards from core set 2010 all the way back to Arabian Nights is kind of wild. It can be difficult, because like all of the enemies decks that you battle against are kind of precons. They're a little bit randomized, but they're not as random as your deck will be. So that newer version with the newer cards can be a little difficult, and maybe especially if you haven't really played through the game before, could be super hard. But
I am also again, Gabby Sparks released a 5-minute video on how to install the game on Windows 10.
Oh, cool.
So there's a 5-minute video, because I went and looked at the installation instructions, and it was a 3-page PDF that told you how to install it on XP.
Oh, okay.
And I was like,
Doesn't help.
I don't know if anyone's running XP.
Yeah.
So the Gabby one should also have like a link to how to like where to download it from.
Yeah.
But it has 85,000 views, and I figured if it was eating people's computers,
yeah,
you would people would probably have said something.
Yep, I would imagine so.
So, to let you know how long the game is, Gabby has a speed run that is 37 minutes.
Yeah, well, you can certainly beat it quick.
Yeah. So, but yeah, if you want to like watch someone play, like those videos are actually good. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I'll install it. I did start playing Demon Souls, so we'll see. But we'll definitely make it available. Uh, if nothing else, I'll put the I'll look at the Gabby video
hmm
and see if she has like a where she downloads it and stuff.
Okay.
Just so we have another vet
Yeah.
to be like, oh, okay, this is okay.
Yeah.
But I think the last time I searched for it, I got to the same link that you have.
Yeah. The two that I have looked familiar to me. But it, like I said, it's in a bunch of different places, so I'm not super sure what's in it.
Mm-hmm.
You should try it though. It's a lot of fun.
It is. And then oh man. And it's just like Magic Online. Like land tax does not work. You just need to click on the card during your upkeep to activate the ability.
Yeah, oh, there's definitely some quirks to the game. Like don't expect a seamless experience.
Yeah, but no, like you could have that on Magic Online right now.
Yeah.
So I was watching a Brian Cook video on the Epic Storm, and he was playing High Tide.
Yeah.
And Turnabout is bugged.
Oh, okay.
And so when you want to untap your lands, you click tap.
Awesome.
When you want to tap your lands, you click untap.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. Good job, Magic Online.
Good job, buddy. You're doing your best. Oh man. This person from 5 years ago still has the Pentium 286 that he used to play the game on.
Wow. That's some dedication.
That is some dedication. Like, you know what? I want this thing to run as poorly as possible.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But it is one of those things that, like, you can go back and be like, a simpler time. Like, I bet you this game was like $30.
I think it was more than that. It was, I mean, it was
Was it like
yeah.
Was it like $50 or whatever?
Yeah.
But still, like, compared to like what we pay for collector boosters packs and stuff, like, way more enjoyment.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, especially if it's free. It's
especially now if it's free. But no, I mean, just think about like, in 1997, like, I definitely played this game. Like, I can't imagine that I spent $50 on it. But
I think I got it as a present.
Okay. But
I bought it when it was new though. Like it came out, and that's like I was playing Magic during this time, so it came out, and I got the game.
Yeah, I think I did something very similar.
Yep.
But yeah, it is very good.
Yep.
So track it down if you if it seems interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it would not take anything to like
jazz it up a little bit.
Jazz it up a little bit and like make it like an official release.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, here's like we'll charge you $20 for this.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have paid more for less.
Paid more for a collector booster and gotten less.
Exactly. I've got my 2 Kamigawa collectors boosters. Oh, speaking of, you got your heads I win, tails you lose deck.
I did.
Oh, it's a miracle.
Yeah.
I was telling someone over Thanksgiving, I was like, yeah, I ordered these cards a year ago. I haven't opened them. I don't know if they're actually the cards I ordered. Because the way they've been printing Commander decks, it could be anything.
Yeah.
I could have a Warhammer deck in there. I don't know.
Maybe it's double-faced. Warhammer deck on one side, heads I win, tails I lose on the other side.
Oh, man. Man, I could be sitting on multiple millions of dollars of obscure cards.
Yep.
So, all right. With our trip down memory lane and, more importantly, our trip to Shandalstein.
That's right.
Right. I think we have a show.
We have a show.
So if you want to reach out to us on social media and talk to us about your memories of Chandelar and slowly walking through the world, you can check out all of our social media links in the description.
Yep.
Or get on Discord. Send us some Chandelar screenshots.
Yep. Yeah. Let us know how you enjoy it if you decide to pick it up.
Yeah.
If you're having an issue, you can hop in on Discord too. I'm not a computer expert, but I've installed Chandelar a couple times, so if you're having an issue, maybe I can help you out in there. If you're looking to support the show, like I said, there's a couple different ways you can do that. The first is our TCG player affiliate link, tcg.casualtryhardmtg.com. Follow that link, make any purchases you're going to make, and we'll get a percentage to help keep the show going. If you want to support us more directly, if you like the content that we put out there and you want to see more of it, hit us up on Patreon, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg. Patrons get access to my show notes where I will have links to all this stuff in there. Patrons also get access to our pre-show, which is just more of us catching up before the show, maybe talking a little bit about show stuff, making sure all our equipment works, that sort of thing. But it's about another hour of content out of us that our patrons have access to. And our patrons get put on my mailing list. Every once in a while, I get some cool stuff to send out to you guys, and patrons get it. So if you're interested in any of that, or just want to show us how much you appreciate us, patreon.com/casualtryhardmtg is where you can do it.
Yeah. So with that, we'll catch you on the internet.
We'll catch you on the internet.